Shalom. Call Holo Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who were well. Peace and salutations to the brothers that are laboring throughout the four corners of the earth in truth and sincerity. It's to our part y'all from the Providence, Rhode Island camp. It's going to be part 2 of the Genesis 49 series. Part 1 dealt with Reuben. All right. And in this video, we're going to be dealing with Simeon and Levi. Like I mentioned in our first video, this series is basically to edify those who looking to know themselves according to the Bible, as well as who their brother is, and also who their enemy is, because the enemy is going to be mentioned. All right, so with that being said, Slakia. This is Genesis 49 and verse 5. Simeon and Levi are brethren. All right, Simeon in the Hebrew is pronounced Shemaiwan. All right, which translates to affliction heard. And Simeon is the progenitor of the so-called Dominicans. All right, now Levi in the Hebrew is pronounced Loya. All right, which means joined to me. Okay, and Levi is the progenitor of the so-called Haitians. All right, now we're gonna deal with why it says Simeon and Levi are brethren. Okay, now specifically says Simeon and Levi are brethren, although it's already known that all the Israelites are brethren. Singles out Simeon and Levi because they are actually prophesied to live on the same island. Now we go to the map, which Santo Domingo. We'll get to that later on. Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, Haiti. It's on the same island. Okay, now dealing with the names Shemaiwan and Loya. Okay, we're gonna work with Shemaiwan first. Okay, which is Simeon. And as I said, it means affliction heard. Now, when before Dominican Republic was called Dominican Republic, it was called Hispaniola. All right, and it was given that name that name was given by a man called Cristobal Colon. Okay, now back then at that time, the inhabitants of that land were known as the Tainos, the Taino Indians. All right, the Northern Kingdom, as we know, they left from the Assyrian captivity. Okay, they traveled through the waters over to Azareth. I believe that's how it's pronounced. Arsareth, Salakia. And they were dwelling here in Central South, Central, North Central South America, as well as Canada, on this side of the world. Now, how did Christopher Columbus know to come to this side? Well, he read the scriptures. All right, he read the scriptures. I believe he read it was 2nd Ezra 13, maybe. It might be 2nd Ezra 13. Well, Salakia. Just to real quick, I don't want to say it was somewhere where it's not. Right. 2nd Ezra 13 and 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanazar the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. Yeah, they went into Assyria. All right. But they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. Yeah, and that's talking about the Americas. In fact, even Solomon was sending his servants over into the Americas to collect goods. All right. He sent the Canaanites. That's another lesson. Let's see. That they might keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow places of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half in the same region is called Arsareth. So concerning Arsareth, all right, Christopher Columbus read the scriptures and he knew that that was talking about the Americas. Here's the proof: Jewish Encyclopedia. The name of the land beyond the great river, far away from the habitation of man, in which the 10 tribes of Israel will dwell, observing the laws of Moses until the time of restoration, according to Second Esdras. Columbus identified America with this land. All right, there it is. So Christopher Columbus, he came to the Americas, and the first place which he stepped foot on was his so-called Dominican Republic, which he ended up naming Hispaniola. Let's read about Hispaniola. Um, okay, Hispaniola. Now, the Tainos, all right, they were calling that land Haiti or Quisqueya before Hispaniola. Before Christopher Columbus gave it that name. All right, said it here. Okay. Now let's real quick go into this. Um, we'll go into the Tainos after. It says Haiti or Quisqueya is an island of the Caribbean that is part of the Greater Antilles. Hispaniola is the most populous island in the West Indies and the region's second largest in area after the island of Cuba. All right, it says let me see. The island is divided into two separate nations: the Spanish-speaking Dominican Republic to the east and the French Haitian Creole-speaking Haiti to the west. Right. So yeah, you had the Spanish that split the land. Spanish were on the Dominican Republic side. Matter of fact, now is a good time to bring up this image. All right, you had Dominican Republic on the Santo Domingo side, the Spanish, okay, and you had the French on the Saint Domingue side. All right, which French came later on, but um, those who know a little bit of history know that Christopher Columbus came with that bullshit doctrine that the Roman Catholic came up with. Um, that little dragon loosed the little season, right? Revelations, the 20th chapter. So going back to it, now we're going into, just a quick reminder, we're going into Shemayawan, Simeon, all right? Affliction heard. Why it's said that way, right? Because Christopher Columbus pulled up to their land and basically, for lack of a better term, shut shit down, all right? Prophecy had to be fulfilled. Okay, so let's grab this real quick. Now it's biography.com. Okay, this is concerning Christopher Columbus, right? Was Christopher Columbus a hero or a villain, right? Because there's a whole holiday concerning this man, which in fact there shouldn't be. Okay, in fact, that's just the way of America. They like to glorify these bullshit, these Edomites. Christopher Columbus was an Edomite. All right, he came over here and he brought nothing but treachery, diseases, man. What does it say? The thief cometh but to kill, and to steal, and to destroy. I think that's Matthew 10. Um, rather than just quoting it. Oh no, John 10. Let me see. It might be John 10. Salakia, man. Yeah, John 10 and 10. The thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. And that precept will never get old. All right, brought that out of the first video. Let's read a little bit about it. Let's read about the destruction of this devil and what he's caused. He enslaved and mutilated indigenous peoples. When Columbus first set foot on Hispaniola, he encountered a population of indigenous people called the Taino. A friendly group, they willingly traded jewelry, animals, and supplies with the sailors. So they were welcoming the Spanish with open arms before they, revealed themselves and shit. They were actually being generous, man. Loving, kind people, man. All right, but let's read some more. They were very well built, with very handsome bodies and very good faces. Yeah, he was a faggot. Says Columbus wrote in his diary Don't quote me on that. But Esau's a natural born fruitcake anyway. Says they do not carry arms, know or know them. They should be good servants. So he already right there and then was plotting on their ass. He was plotting on them like, yo, man. He looked at the window of opportunity. That's why these people, what's that term called? They take it. They took it. Don't take the kindness for weakness. You see what I'm saying? Look. He took advantage of that window of opportunity. So I came over here. I'm getting excited, man, because it ramps you up, man. It ramps you. It gets you hot, man, when you actually looking in and reading about the bullshit these Edomites did, man. The Edomites are our enemies, man. Okay, it says the indigenous peoples were soon forced into slavery, all right, and punished with the loss of a limb or death if they did not collect enough gold, right? Because there was a bunch of riches on this land, man. There was tons of riches. That's why Christopher Columbus kept taking voyages back and forth. All right, that's why he kept taking voyages back and forth. Um, in fact, the first his first ship, he named it Santa Maria. All right, it translates to Saint Mary, and you see a bunch of Simeon all up into that, worshiping of Saint Mary, worshiping of Saint um just the saints and baby Jesus. They call it Niño Divino. You know, but we'll get into that. We'll get into that because Genesis 49 talks about that as well. But let's keep reading here. It says between the Europeans' brutal treatment and their infectious disease with decades, the Taino population was decimated, which you know they're still here, man. All right, the Mayans are still here. The Aztecs are still here. There's a spot over here in my state, in Rhode Island. It's called Onlyville. You go up in there, you see this bunch of Mayans and Aztecs. All right, right here around Broad Street and down the street right here. All you're gonna see is the descendants of them Tainos, man, so-called Tainos, man. Which is really all said and done, the Northern Kingdom, they're all the riders, the so-called, they're all so-called Native Americans and all of that. But really, they're the 10 tribes of Israel, man, that we just read about. All right, so that's Semai 1. All right, affliction heard. Now, let's go back to Genesis 49. Let's go to deal with Levi, all right, which in the Hebrew is lawyer, and that translates to is joined to me, okay, and joined to who? Joined unto the Most High, man, the Heavenly Father, okay, and let's go and read about it real quick. Exodus 40, because they actually administer the law, man. All right, being joined unto the Most High, man. Says Exodus 40 and 12. And thou shalt bring Aaron and his sons unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and wash them with water. And thou shalt put upon Aaron the holy garments, and anoint him, and sanctify him, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. Slakia. And thou shalt bring his sons, and clothe them with coats. And thou shalt anoint them as thou didst anoint their father, that they may minister unto me in the priest's office, for their anointing shall surely be an everlasting priesthood throughout their generations. All right. So, they was in charge of the priesthood, right? Now, real quick, I have this book here called what's it called? The Compact Bible Dictionary. All right. Now, as I go and grab this word, bear with me. Salakia. Where's it at? All right. All right. So this is going to the book Leviticus, right? Because look up the definition of the word Leviticus here up in this Compact Bible Dictionary. It says, the first thing it says is relating to the Levites, right? That word Leviticus goes into the books of the law. All right. Now, those who know, when Yahweh Shai came, who is the Messiah, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, he came and opened up the priesthood, okay, unto the whole nation, the 12 tribes. All right. You read after the order of Melchizedek. You read about that in Hebrews the 7th chapter. All right. Now let's go back. Let's go back a little bit and finish this off. I don't want to make this too long, but I do, want to keep going into each tribe specifically in depth. What's going on? It's lucky, man. Um, let's see. All right, so back to Genesis 49 and verse 5. Simeon and Levi are brethren. All right, we went over that. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations. Okay, and this is talking about their witchcraft. Okay, witchcraft is heavy on that island, man. Witchcraft is heavy um in their culture. Okay, basically on the Haiti side you got that voodoo, you know. Um on the so-called Dominican side you got what is called Santeria or brujeria. All right, that word bruja means witch. Okay, so they literally practice witchcraft, and voodoo's witchcraft also. In fact, um, there's actually a mixture of Roman Catholicism in there. Okay, and what did Cristobal Colon come down with? The Roman Catholicism, Roman Catholic Jesus, that Renaissance uh, Jesus, all of that bullshit. All right, um, and let's read a little bit about the voodoo, Haitian voodoo. It says let me see this. Look at this. What is the main religion in Haiti? The U.S. government estimates 55% of the population is Catholic. You see, they all up into Catholicism over there, man. In fact, you got Catholicism mixed up into the voodoo and shit too, to the point where um to the point where actual Roman Roman Catholic prayer is said before that rituals, you know, up in in the Haitian voodoo, as it says here, right? But let's read this. Haitian voodoo is an African diasporic religion that, he used to like to throw a whole bunch of shit up in there. Says it arose through a process of syncretism between several traditional religions of West and Central Africa and the Roman Catholic form of Christianity. Okay, take a look. Get a couple images of this. Look at this shit. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. The fuck is going on here? It's a so-called, get after their ancestors. Look at this shit. You see? Whole bunch of wickedness, man. It's madness, but that's look, and you see Haiti, Levi is getting fucked up, man. They getting fucked up too, man. You saw the shit that just happened over there, and then all the whole border crossing situations and all of that, man. You know, look at this. People are through with a goddamn cigarette in their mouth, man. What the heck, man? That's why. Look at this. Look at this. And that's why they're getting torched right now, But I say this, um, they were able to defeat the French, using their voodoo on the left hand side, man. All right, that shit actually works. I got this precept here. I want to see what it says. Let me see what it says real quick. Um, Oh yeah. Um, as well, this is actually another reason why it says the instruments of cruelty are in their habitation. It says Genesis 34 and 25. And it came to pass on the third day when they were sore that two of the sons of Jacob, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brethren, took each man his sword and came upon the city boldly and slew all the males. Yeah, man. You know, that's the precept to go to that as well. All right. So, oh yeah, let's go into Shemaiah 1's bullshit now. What is it? San, let's see. Santeria. There it is. Okay. Santeria, an African diasporic religion that developed in Cuba during the late 19th century. It arose through a process of syncretism between the traditional Yoruba religion, the Roman Catholic form of Christianity, and Spiritism, whatever the hell that is, man. Um, Santeria is polytheistic and revolves around deities called Orika, deriving their names and attributes from traditional Yoruba divinities that are equated with Roman Catholic saints. Okay, now let's go back to Genesis 49. Okay, because the thing is, let me just read it. Genesis 49 and 6. Oh, my soul, come not thou into their secret, because their secret is that they worshiping, demons, man. They really worshiping devils. That's why it's best to stay up out of that whole concept of what they got going on over there. All right, it's heavily influencing our people to continue in wickedness. All right, Slacky, man. All right. So verse 6, O my soul, come not thou into their secret, unto their assembly mine honor, be not thou united. Right. Because, man, I'll say this. When when I'm a so-called Simeonite, when my family see a so-called Negro, or they got a strong hatred towards them. And that's exactly why, that's Simeon, you go to that island over there, Simeon and Levi are beefing. And it's been like that for since since that prophecy hit him heavily, you know. A matter of fact, I'll say this. Um, let's see, real quick. Go into this real quick. Um, that's ready. Massacre River. Massacre River. Right here. Check this out. All right. To the point where it says, right, the Dajabon River, also the Massacre River. This is a literal river in Dominican Republic that separates the Haiti and Dominican border. All right. Now let's read some history on it. The river got the name Massacre River because it was the site of the killing of the 30 French buccaneers by Spanish settlers in 1728. The name newly the name became newly popular after being the site of many killings during the Parsley Massacre. Right? Now let's check this out. Parsley Massacre. The Parsley Massacre um was a this right here, let me highlight it for you. Was a mass killing of Haitians living in the Dominican Republic's northwestern frontier and in certain parts of the contiguous Cibao region in October 1937. Dominican army troops came from different areas of the country and carried out the massacre under orders of Dominican dictator Rafael Trujillo. As a result of the massacre, virtually the entire Haitian population in the Dominican frontier was either killed or forced to flee across the border. Some died while trying to flee to Haiti across the Dahomey River that divides the two nations. That's prophecy being fulfilled, right? Unto their assembly might honor, be not thou united. Although at one point they were united, at one point they were. But let's keep reading. Matter of fact, let's see. Started October 2nd, 1937. October 8th, 1937. Let's see a couple pictures. Damn. Look at that. I look like some kids. This is history, man. Between Simeon and Levi. This is that man Rafael Trujillo that ordered the hit, basically. That's the French side, Saint Domingue, and the Spanish side, Santo Domingo. All right. I guess that's it for that. All right. So, unto their assembly, mine honor, be not thou united, for in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they dig down a wall. All right. So basically, when they come together, all right, Simeon and Levi, they're more than likely to do some damage, man. And what, man? I say this, man. Um, out here, when Jacob's troubles hit, shit, man, you're gonna see a lot of Simeon and Levi. I mean, you got all the tribes too, but right in this episode, in this lesson, just focusing on Simeon and Levi. Shit, man, Simeon and Levi, they gonna be going crazy. They're gonna be robbing, killing, all of this shit because they're the ones really in the slums. They're the ones really in poverty, man. You know, granted, like I said, granted, the rest of the tribes, but for the lesson's sake, just Simeon and Levi. All right, it says verse 7: Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. All right, and it says, I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. All right, so basically, you're gonna have Levi and Simeon all scattered throughout. Actually, in fact, Levi didn't even have a land. They were actually appointed to different lands, right? Because they were the priests, they were the administrators of the law, and in fact, there were some Levites that came over to the Americas with the Northern Kingdom. All right, but yeah, man, shit. I'm a so-called Simeonite, and sometimes I be thinking I'm Judah. You know what I'm saying? Just cause shit, I don't want to get up into that, but that wraps this up. Um, Lord willing, it was edifying to whomever tunes in. Want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakaha Kodash. Shalom.